Good evening and welcome. I am so excited to be here tonight hosting this year's seminar on how to become a runner. Tonight we will be going over tips and tools to help you get started hitting the pavement. The fact that you are here tonight with us has told me you've already taken that first step in becoming a runner. You've decided to go for it. Now, we all have our personal reasons for lacing up our tennis shoes and hitting the pavement. For some of us, it may be health issues. Perhaps you need to lose a little weight, or maybe you want to fight that disease, diabetes. Some of us may just need to tone up our muscles. Or maybe you're like me and you want to do something for yourself. See, I started my running journey in 2009, and I have been passionate about it ever since. I started running after I had my daughter. I already had a 2-year-old son, and with a newborn added into the mix, me time was non-existent. I started struggling with self-confidence at this time, and to be honest, with 2 little ones at home, you need all the confidence you can get to survive everyday life. So one night, I put on my tennis shoes, I went out the front door, and I just started running the neighborhood. Keep in mind, I had no previous experience with running. I was by no means a fit and active person. The only thing I knew about running was that I hated it, or so I thought. That first night, I went and I ran 5 houses. At that point, I thought I was going to die. I literally turned around and walked home. But I didn't let it get me down. I was determined. So the next night I went out and I ran 6. The next 7. And before I knew it, I ran the whole entire block, which is equal to about a half a mile. Meeting these little milestones gave me all the encouragement I needed to stick with it. I thought to myself, if I just ran a half a mile, I can keep running. The way I did this was I just took it slow and steady. And I had fun, and I enjoyed what I was doing. Tip number 1. Don't go out and buy new shoes the very first time you go running. See, we all run differently. Some of us are heel-toe runners. You may be a balls-of-your-feet runner. Or maybe, like me, you overpronate. Or some underpronate. So going out and buying a new pair of shoes before you even start running is a waste of money. Now, tip number 2, we all need to be comfortable when we run. Now, I can't stand being hot, so I typically run in a cotton tank top, a sports bra, and a cotton pair of shorts. In the winter, I will add a long sleeve t-shirt over my tank top. If it's really cold, then I'll add a pair of yoga pants or a pair of capris. One thing nobody really thinks about when it comes to running is your socks. Honestly, from experience, your socks can make or break your run. I've had the experience of running with socks that had seams in the toes and ended up with very painful blisters along my toes. Now, you can go to somewhere like Walmart and get a cheaper pair of athletic socks without the seams than what you would find in like a specialty store. My third tip, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Now, most people won't forget to drink water after a run just because running makes you thirsty. I mean, you sweat, so you're going to want to drink water after. But what's more important than drinking water after a run is drinking water before a run. See, the more hydrated you are, the better you will perform. According to John Bryant, writer of Runner's World magazine, quote, "Dehydrated athletes fatigue significantly faster than those who stay hydrated," unquote. So make sure you're getting your H2O. You can do this by making yourself drink a glass of water every single morning. Drink some water before your morning coffee or tea. And throughout the day, have a glass of water. Chances are, by drinking water alone, you will start to feel better. And you'll be more motivated to go for your evening runs. Now, I have to have water on a run. Whether it's a 2-mile run or a half marathon, I have to have my water. There's a few ways you can do this. You can use a utility belt, which actually holds bottles of water. And they also have little pockets, which you can put your keys, you can put your IDs, some money, that kind of thing. I like to use these utility belts when I'm on a short run. But for my longer runs, I like to use a CamelBak. Now, a CamelBak is a lightweight backpack that has what's called a bladder or a water reservoir inside. And then you have the plastic tube that comes out of the bladder, and you actually drink the water through the plastic tube. One thing that's really nice about the CamelBak is you can actually freeze the water inside the bladder. So then that helps keep your water cold throughout the duration of your run. And if it's a hot summer day, it also helps cool you off. Now, tip number 4 is take it slow. Slow and consistent. Don't expect to run a mile or more on your first run. Your first run should be your test run. Go out and run. Run until you feel like you can't run anymore. This here will be your starting point. The next day, run that same distance plus a little bit further. Now, it doesn't matter if you increase your distance by 1 step or 20 steps. The important part is that you are increasing. You're consistently increasing your distance. At this point, you should not be worrying about your time. Because if you try running too fast, you're not going to stick with it. You're going to become fatigued and you're not going to have fun. So this brings us to our fifth and final tip. Stick with it and have fun. Set small goals to keep yourself motivated. Try to set up some kind of schedule so that way you know what you need to do day to day. But keep in mind that life is unpredictable. So you can't get a run in tonight because something came up. Just make sure you get it in tomorrow, as long as you're being consistent. These tips and tools that I provided you tonight are a great starting point for you in your running adventure. I am very excited for you and can't wait to hear about all of your successes. And I would love for you to come back for our next seminar on how to increase your mileage. So at this point, I would like to say thank you, good luck, and happy running.